What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So the Pittsburgh Pro isn't gonna just have a star-studded lineup for the men's open bodybuilding. The men's physique division is gonna have an even better lineup at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro than this year's Arnold Classic Ohio as well, because two former Olympia champions, not to mention arguably one of the biggest rivals in the men's physique division, Hendrickson and Erin Banks, they have both confirmed their attendance for this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. So this is gonna be a really exciting battle because it's not a secret that both these top guys from the men's physique division, they just do not like each other. And the last time both these guys competed against each other, that was at the Olympia 2023, where Brandon came out on top, but he wasn't able to achieve a milestone, and that was winning 4 men's physique Olympia titles and tied the record of 4 times Olympia winner Jeremy Bundia. And after taking the entire last year off, Brandon is fired up more than ever to get back on the stage and stop the reigning Olympia champion Ryan Terry from winning his 3rd consecutive Olympia title. Now looking at all of these recent physique updates from Brandon Hendrickson and Erin Banks, they both look really awesome and right on the money, right on the track to show up at their all-time best for this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. And Brandon Hendrickson in particular, he has this reputation of staying so ready all year round. He made this announcement way earlier in 2024 that he is going to be taking the entire year off. But still, the man was looking so damn good throughout the year. And most of us won't be surprised at all if Brandon comes in and wins back his Olympia title, because his physique just has no weak points whatsoever. So this guy who plays runner-up behind Ryan Terry at the Olympia last year, early heat, and considering the fact that how young the man is, and he is so balanced top to bottom, he's gonna be the future of the men's physique division for sure. But that being said, are you guys ready for a lot of smack talk that's gonna happen between Brandon and Erin on their road to this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro? Next up, we have another off-season physique update from Stefon. So the man is specifically putting out more physique updates, especially off his back, and how he has been progressing after he switched over to the men's open bodybuilding. And do not forget, back was considered kind of his weak area when he was competing in classic physique, because his arms, his shoulders, and his chest, they were just on a whole different level. But looking at the density and the width that Stefon has added to his back in just a few months of this off-season, it is safe to say that the man isn't messing around, and him and his coach Patrick Tour, they have every intention to make their men's open bodybuilding debut sometime later this year. So seeing how Stefon's physique has just totally blown up, especially after he started feeding his body the way he was meant to for the men's open class, one can only imagine how well he would have established himself already by now in the men's open if he made this switch like 2 years back when he was suffering and losing all that muscle to make that weight cut off. Now Stefon has a great coach in his corner. He got him in the best shape of his life at the Portugal Pro last year, and we cannot wait to see him in that same sort of condition with an additional maybe 10 to 15 pounds of quality muscle on that frame. And 10 pounds is actually very realistic take, especially for a guy like Stefon, since he was already being forced to lose a lot of muscle as well as a lot of fullness to make that classic physique weight cut off anyway. So he won't have to build that muscle from scratch. He already has that. So do not be surprised if he is a lot bigger and heavier the next time he steps on stage. Next up, we have another excellent off-season physique update of another guy who kind of ruined a few years of his pro bodybuilding career by switching from the men's open bodybuilding to classic physique division a few years back. Just looking at his pro debut back in Portugal 2019, there was superstar written all over this guy, but he decided to do classic instead. And that class was never meant for him. So he is 297 pounds as of right now in this recent update. And that is a very lean looking physique at that kind of body weight. So Florian is another guy who has been growing extremely fast ever since he made this announcement that he's going to be competing in the men's open bodybuilding division this year. So Florian's physique from 2019, that year he won his pro card, that was a perfect example of being so ready for the pro stage as well. So here is an interesting fact. Florian in 2019, he decided to make his pro debut just 1 day after winning his pro card, and he was just so damn ready for it that he placed top 4 in that show, beating a guy like Samson Dauda. And the results of that show, they were kind of controversial because the man could have easily placed one or even two places higher than that. So Patrick Tuor was his coach at that time. So Florian's return to the men's open class is one exciting storyline of 2025. He is gonna bring more density, more size, more muscle mass. What we have seen from all of his recent physique updates, all of these off-season physique updates, the waist is gonna be as small as it was back in the day. And this guy can be a force to be reckoned with in the upcoming years. Next up, we have another off-season physique update of a 22 years old phenomenon Nihat Kaya, who, if I say, has been growing faster than most people in the entire pro league right now, or in the last 2 years, then that statement won't be wrong at all. It is absolutely mind-blowing to see that kind of size on a 22 years old, and he really is in that category of guys like Lee Priest, because he is tied with Lee Priest for the record of winning pro card at the young age of 20. Now the man made a sensational pro debut last year at the Weight Pro. Now he just wasn't able to beat one guy, Angel Calderon, who is a true veteran of the sport. And he has been as high as second at the Olympia level. Now Nihat was able to beat two other guys who were also 212 veterans and have placed top 10 at the Olympia last year. So at 22 years old, beating the best of the best in the 212. That, in my opinion, is a massive statement. But the way he has been going during this offseason, that is gonna put his 2024 physique to shame in my opinion. Because with every passing year, he's gonna gain more muscularity and more maturity. I guess the only thing Nihat needs to worry about is keeping his waistline in check. He's a short guy, like Keon, but he falls in the category of those very aesthetic bodybuilders. And this year, Nihat Kaya is gonna make his Olympia debut for sure.
Like he came in flat, and that's why his legs kind of
like usually like your worst body part is the one you're going to lose first.
right.
And Derek's legs have never been his strongest body part. They're great in the off season. They're really full.
No surprise there at all that Derek's news of hiring Chris Aceto as his coach that made a huge impact on every bodybuilding media outlet out there yesterday. And the guys on the pro chat, they also gave their take on this whole scenario. So judging from the Olympia experience of Derek and how they pushed harder and harder to get 5% better, and it kind of backfired, and Derek went back 20%, we might see a fuller and more muscular version of Derek at this upcoming Arnold, Ohio.
So if he comes in with the same condition as Samson, Samson's going to beat him. He's got to be more conditioned than Samson, or else it's not going to be enough to beat him.
Because for him to have a shot at that title, and against a guy like Samson Dauda, he needs to somehow hold on to his quads and the density on it, which by the way always looks huge, especially in the off-season. And Derek is a guy who stays relatively shredded throughout his off-season. So maybe it was all about the Olympia peak that went badly wrong. But how good is Derek that he still is the third best bodybuilder in the world, even when he wasn't even at his 100%.
That's going to be interesting if Chris can fix that. Go ahead, Seth. Sorry.
And the videos, they look better, but like you said, they look good in the off season.
Yeah.
The recent video he posted, I'm like, hey, I think he might be putting in the work for it, which is expected, but...
Now this, I think, is gonna be a totally new experience for all of us fans, for Derek as well, because he has never really done a show in a manner where he's able to grow into the show. And that is exactly what he has been doing with Chris Aceto now for this year's Arnold. Plus, we have to keep in mind, the man is just 31 years old. Of course, he's gonna show up with an improved physique, and these top three, Samson, Derek, and Hadi, they are very close to each other. And any one of these guys, they can place ahead of one another on their given day.
The best in the world.
Yes.
So if it seems harsh,
yeah, it's like talking about like giving commentary on like a world's strongest man competition, saying someone wasn't great at a lift. It's like, yeah, he's clearly amazing. He just wasn't good as Brian Shaw. You know,
right,
it's like
right.
So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.